Morning, folks. Well, I'm sure not getting much done today. It started out kind of blue sky that the clouds rolled in and then it started raining real hard and actually spit snow for a little bit. And I was going to come down here and work on this fence and decided, well, I'll switch over to some leather work. Well, we went into town. That wheel finally showed up for Jeff's four-wheeler track. So I went and picked that up, come back home, and it turned kind of nice again. The sun come out, quit raining. So I thought, well, I'll come down and work on this fence as soon as I get something to eat for lunch. And by the time I did that, the clouds are back. It's not raining, but I don't know. It sure don't look very nice. Not really wanting to do this all that bad, but I'd like to have it over with, too. But anyway, while I'm sitting here stalling, basically, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's a Judge Candy Dale is her name, down in Boise, I believe, Idaho. Kind of blocked our wolf trapping again. This is what it says, if I can find it here quick. For this year, I think she's going to let the season run to the end because it's over at the end of March anyway. Next year is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little harder. Now, get my little goggles here, my little grainy glasses. Anyhow, says here, federal judge restricts wolf trapping in Idaho to protect grizzly bears. Funny thing is, we have very few, if any, grizzly bears in this area. The judge ruled that wolf trapping and snaring in grizzly bear habitat outside of denning season could have profound effects on Idaho's grizzlies. Idaho trappers will have fewer opportunities to trap and snare wolves in grizzly country due to a federal judge's ruling that eliminates year-round trapping on private land in grizzly bear recovery zones and shortens the public land season there by 6 weeks. In her summary ruling issued Tuesday, U.S. Magistrate Judge Candy Dale said these cuts were necessary to protect the state's grizzly bears, which are still federally protected under the Endangered Species Act. They're not endangered anywhere. You can't take something that's thriving over here, and there aren't any over here, and then decide that they're endangered because there aren't any over here. Endangered means that they're endangered of being extinct anywhere in the world. They're gone forever. Not, okay, there's a whole bunch right here, but they're extinct everywhere else. It doesn't work that way. Effective for the 2024 trapping season, the court's decision, which is next winter, the trapping season, the court's decision halts the trapping of snaring of wolves in the Panhandle, Clearwater, Salmon, the Upper Snakes regions, and on both public and private land between March 1st and November 30th. The way it is right now, wolf trapping season is over at the end of March, and it has been opening up September 10th, so we would lose the month of March, September, October, and November. The summer months, I don't know. To me, as a trapper, I don't think I don't trap in the summertime. The pelts are no good, and no real trapper really does. Predator management, if they're killing your cows on your own property or something like that, I think that should be allowed. And the way this will turn it into, you'll have to get a government trapper from Fish and Game to come and do it. You can't take care of the problem on your own. Other than that, it hasn't changed a lot. These activities will still be allowed during the remaining 3 months of the year when grizzly bears are in their dens. So from December 1st until end of February is when our new wolf trapping will be. Like I say, we're going to lose September, October, November, and March. So it's a pretty big cut. It says here, let's see, there is ample evidence in the record, including from Idaho's own witnesses, that lawful set wolf traps and snares are reasonably likely to take grizzly bears in Idaho. Dale wrote, "It is undisputed that trapping and snaring seasons in Idaho overlap periods when grizzly bears are known to be out of their dens, thereby increasing the risk that a grizzly bear will be taken." That's true if we had grizzly bears here. Dale's ruling comes in response to a 2021 lawsuit that was filed by environmental and anti-hunting groups like the Center for Biological Diversity and the Humane Society of the U.S. against Idaho Governor Brad Little, the Idaho Department of Fish and Game, and members of Idaho Fish and Wildlife Commission. These groups argued that new legislation establishing a year-round wolf trapping season on private land and allowing for the unlimited purchase of wolf tags statewide violated the Endangered Species Act by jeopardizing Idaho's grizzly populations. How does buying unlimited wolf tags for hunting jeopardize Idaho's grizzly populations? Makes no sense there. Just because you buy the tag doesn't mean you're going to find them either. They're not easy to hunt and they're not easy to trap. Although she decided with the plaintiffs, Dale rejected their motion to ban all wolf trapping and snaring in grizzly bear habitat until Idaho could obtain an incidental take permit from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Instead, the court's injunction will be limited to the period when grizzly bears are reasonably certain to be out of their dens. Dale's ruling cited past examples of grizzlies that were accidentally caught by wolf trappers in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Canada. It hinges on a pair of incidents from 2020 when 2 grizzlies died in Idaho's Boundary County after getting caught in wolf snares. The state was quick to point out that both of these sets were illegal as they lacked the breakaway devices or cable stops required by Idaho Fish and Game regulations. Those breakaways are supposed to, you put enough pressure on them, they're supposed to break. A grizzly bear has a lot more pressure than a wolf does. A wolf won't break the snare. The grizzly bear will. The stops probably wouldn't do a lot of good. However, Dale said these incidents still served as proof that wolf trappers are reasonably likely to take grizzly bears even when traps and snares are lawfully set. She explained under the current definitions of the Endangered Species Act, even a grizzly bear that was released alive and well from a wolf trap or snare would be considered taken by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. That's not right. I mean, if you catch it and turn it loose unharmed, it's not dead. You can't count that as a mortality when it's still alive and running around up there just fine. That's not right at all. I can understand them marking it on the list that, yeah, this one was caught, but it was released unharmed. That alone might kind of go toward trappers' favor that not everyone you catch is killed either. There are currently an estimated 200 grizzly bears in Idaho, with roughly half of these inhabiting the Cabinet Yaak and Selkirk recovery zones in the Idaho Panhandle, where Boundary County is located. All Idaho politicians say those numbers serve as an abundant proof that the state's grizzly bear population has adequately recovered, and they've continued to condemn the Fed's decision to keep grizzlies on the endangered species list. In February, 3 of these legislatures sent a letter to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Director Martha Williams demanding that the management of the species be returned to the state. And it should be. They're Idaho bears. Somebody in Montana shouldn't have any say on that. Way back when all the wolf problems were started, we actually had a judge in Hawaii shut down the season. I mean, what's a guy in Hawaii know about bears in Idaho? It'd be like us saying that their starfish are endangered or whatever. We don't know anything about them. Okay, so until that day comes, however, Dale said the trapping and snaring of wolves in grizzly habitat outside denning season poses an unacceptable risk to the bears. In examining the appropriate relief, the court is mindful that the balance of hardships always favor preservation of the species, Dale wrote. Thus, the reality of even one could have profound effects on Idaho's grizzly bear population. Anyway, that's what's going on. It's going to shorten our season by quite a little bit, more than half of what it was. The summer part, like I say, I don't know that I'm in favor of that anyway. That won't affect me. I'm not trapping them in the summertime. I do carry my rifle with me everywhere I go, and if I see one, I'll try for it. But as a trapper, you're after prime pelts, and they're just not prime in the summertime. So that doesn't bother me that much, but it would sure have been nice to have nicer weather in the fall. September might be a little early. October, it wouldn't be bad. If we had October and November, that would be pretty good. September, the pelts are just starting to prime up. They're not that thick yet. Last season, I found those ones and I caught them early, and it worked out really well in my favor that last year. But there's still a lot of people in the woods, and I can kind of live with that. Starting in December, there's times you can't get up the mountain at all in December. That's going to really hurt. It's going to be really hard to get around. It's going to be really hard to do any trapping of any kind. By March, I'm back to work anyway. The first wolf I ever got was March 22nd, so having the month of March would be a good thing for me personally, but I'm pretty busy by then anyway, so that's not going to affect me a whole heck of a lot. But I hate to give up any of our wolf trapping season because of something that's not even here. I mean, it's ridiculous. This area, there has been some grizzly bears sighted over the years, and people still see them now and then, but there are so few that, you can just consider them non-existent in our area. Not extinct, just not here. But chances of you actually catching one here, slim to none. I don't know. Well, I know there's none been caught in Salmon area. Other parts of the state there probably has. I know they said there's 2 in Boundary County, which is clear up. I believe Boundary County is boundary between Idaho and Idaho and Canada. I'm not positive on that though. Anyway, now it's starting to rain. Probably shouldn't have been gabbing and should have been fencing, but like I say, I'm not true gung-ho on doing this today anyway. I really need to get it done, but today is actually Saturday. I'm 1 or 2 videos ahead, so you'll probably see it like Monday, which is probably the day I'll actually do this. Thanks for watching, folks. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think on this whole wolf situation and grizzly bear situation. Seems like there's 2 extremes. You either love them all and think they're the noble and majestic symbol of the wilderness and just about worship them, or you hate them and want to kill them and get rid of every single one that ever lived on the face of the planet. There seems to be no in between. As a trapper, I am in between. I've lost 2 jobs because of wolves. The outfitters that I've worked for, both of them went out of business because there's nothing left to hunt. I really miss deer and elk meat in the fall. I haven't actually shot a deer or an elk now for a couple of years, and I miss that. But I do enjoy chasing these wolves too. To me, that's kind of taking the place of the rest. It's a heck of a challenge, and I really enjoy it. Plus, with that foundation, I've made some pretty good money on it too. Starting to hail too. So, the hail with this fence for the rest of the day. Lily, you don't like the lightning, do you? No. See you folks tomorrow. Bye.